Today is 16th Safar 1445 after the Hijrah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which is equivalent to 2nd September 2023. I am Salamat to note a of Minister of Foreign Affairs Ambassador Yusuf Tuga disclosed this today morning. Tuga's advisor on media and communication strategy, Al Qasim Abdulkadir, in a statement confirmed that all Nigerian ambassadors have been recalled. The clarification became necessary over the recall of Nigeria's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Sarafa Ishola. Meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be attending the upcoming G20 summit in New Delhi, India from September 9th to 10th. Addressing the State House correspondents on Friday, the spokesman for the president, Ajuri Ngelali, said the trip is expected to attract foreign direct investment to the country. According to him, the president will be hosting a roundtable made up of of state such as Germany, India, South Korea, among others, on the sideline of the G20. He noted that the president will also be meeting with the Nigerians in Niger, in India, and he will also provide a set of remarks to the entire summit involving all heads of state present and many other industry and business leaders across the world. Following the feud between the Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki and his deputy Philip Shuaibu, the state government has relocated the office of the governor, which is situated at number 7 Osadegbe Avenue, close to the government house. The new deputy governor office used to be the state public procurement office commissioned by a former governor of the state, Adams Oshomale, on December 16, 2014. One of the workers said they were expected to be delivered the building on Monday. He said he did not know what the building was going to be used for, adding that he had not seen the signboard placed at the entrance. The battle for succession has pitched the deputy governor against the state's #1 citizen. Shuaibu, who hails from Edo North Senatorial District, intends to succeed Obaseki, an indigene of Benin, in Edo South Senatorial District, but the governor is pushing for a successor from Eastern Land in Edo Central Senatorial District. Former Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Professor Issa Pantami, urged wealthy individuals to assist the less privileged in the society to cushion their standard of living. Mr. Pantami made the appeal while presiding over the wedding fatia of Muhammad Oyanki, member representing Doma North constituency at the Nasarawa State House of Assembly, and his wife Rukaya Shehu yesterday at Anur Mosque, Abuja. The former minister and an Islamic cleric tied the nuptial knot after the pronouncement of 100,000 naira dowry and presentation of medical certificates. He also urged Nigerians to pray fervently for God's intervention in the nation's challenge. He prayed God to bless the marriage of the new couple abundantly. The cleric congratulated Oyanke and his wife, admonishing them to show love, patience, understanding, and tolerance, among other virtues, for their marriage to be successful. Suspected kidnappers have invaded the popular El-Rufai estate in the Kuchiko Resettlement Development Area of Buari Local Council of Abuja and abducted a resident identified as Chinedu. The incident reportedly happened in the early hours of today. According to newsmen, the victim was weeks away from his house within the estate. While confirming the incident, the victim's wife said the hoodlums came heavily armed and forcefully took away her husband. She said the gunmen broke through the fence to gain entrance into their compound. She, however, said the kidnappers were yet to contact the family as of fresh time. The chairman of Kuchiko Resettlement Development Area, May Baba Bego, disclosed that the latest incident brought to 5 measures through executing various multi-billion naira projects to control the perennial flood in the state. There was a jubilation among the residents of Kore village over the inauguration of the project, which they describe as a savior. According to one of the victims of last year's flood in Sali, over 50 houses, including his own, were destroyed during the flood. Suspected bandits have attacked worshippers in a mosque at Saya village in Ikara local government area of Kaduna State, killing 7 people. 7 of the victims were gunned down in the mosque, while the remaining 2 other victims were killed at different locations within the area. The incident happened around 8 p.m. when the villagers were performing Isha, that's the sunset prayer, at a local mosque, according to local sources. A resident of the village and Asabe said 2 other villagers who sustained gunshot wounds were rushed to the hospital for treatment. The village head, Malam Abdulrahman Yusuf, confirmed the incident, saying the head of the vigilante in the village was among the victims killed inside the mosque. Acting Public Relations Officer of the State Police Command, Mansur Al-Hassan, who confirmed the incident, the security personnel had been mobilized to nearby bushes to fish out the perpetrators. The news is coming to you from the studios of Sawaba Radio. Mornings after the short break. Stay tuned. Education suburb, Professor Haruna Musa says they will deploy new technology to enhance proper monitoring of teaching and learning at basic level of education across the state. Haruna made this known during an interactive meeting with the education secretaries of the 27 local government areas and the zonal directors of the inspectorate. He said the aim of the meeting is to discuss on the just concluded examinations conducted by the board and present a letter of commendation to the 3 education secretaries of the local government education authority for their concerns effort in the last common entrance examination. He urged education secretaries to redouble their efforts and to strictly observe all necessary preparations 1 week before the formal resumption schedule to hold on 17th September 2023. In his response, on behalf of others, the Suburb Secretary of Duse Local Government, Malam Omar Adamu, expressed his imprecation and thanked his board for the support given to him. Earlier in his speech, the board secretary, Universal Basic Education Board, Gas State Task Force on Petroleum Product has commended BNY and Alhaji Umaru Jime Petroleum in Kazauri for the steady supply of petrol to consumers. Chairman of the task force, Muhammad Al-Hassan, made the commendation when he led members of the committee on an inspection visit to filling stations in Kazauri. He said the 2 filling stations are among the best in the state who are selling petrol to consumers in accordance to the standard best practice. At BNY filling station, the chairman urged proprietor to provide paraffin as the station is over discharging fuel to consumers. Similarly, he warned 3 other filling stations to correct their leakages or face sanction by the committee. Members of the committee also visited some filling stations in Ringim local government area. The Federal Science and Technical College Hadija has released the list of successful candidates into JSS1. A statement issued by the college advised parents to collect admission letters and joining instructions of their children. It said the college has commenced the sale of forms for supplementary admission into JSS1 and SS1, while the supplementary examination will hold on Saturday, 9th September 2023. The Katsina State Police Command man, ASP Abubakar Sadiq. Among them were 4 suspected members of a notorious kidnap for ransom syndicate who were arrested on different special public using counterfeit currencies. The suspects were arrested with credible information about their activities in a house situated at Bakin Kaswa Quarters, Kankia local government area. The command also paraded a 30-year-old suspected notorious member of a kidnap for ransom syndicate terrorism for Skari local government area of Katsina and its environs. Now to international scene. Large demonstrations are taking place outside a French military base in Niger's capital, Niamey, as pressure mounts on France's ambassador and the soldiers to leave the country. Niger's military government, which seized power on July 26th, has accused French President Emmanuel Macron of using divisive rhetoric in his comments about the coup and seeking to perpetrate France's new colonial relationship with its former colony. Sylvain It, France's ambassador, remained in Niger despite a 48-hour deadline to leave the country more than a week ago, a decision Macron said he applauds. Al Jazeera's Ahmad Idris, reporting from Niamey, said demonstration expressing frustration. There is still a French presence in the country were beginning to take matters into their own hands. According to security personnel, the protest was scheduled to begin at about 3 p.m., but thousands of demonstrators had already gathered by 10 a.m., taking police and security forces by surprise. The military has since reinforced the area around the French base, which contain about 1,500 French troops, and warned against forceful entry and the repercussions that will follow. Gabon's new military leader has pledged to return the country to democracy but has refused to provide a timeline for fresh elections. Jean-Brice Oligui Nguema said the country's state institution will be made more democratic and their suspension was only temporary. But Gabon's opposition coalition says the military shows no signs of handing power back to a civilian government. The deposed President Ali Bongo was placed under the house arrest this week. Army officers appeared on state TV in the early hours of Wednesday to say they had seized control and the Bongo family's 55-year-old on power in the central of the state. The coup in Gabon is the 8th in West and Central Africa since 2020, following Niger, Mali, Guinea, Burkina Faso, and Chad. It has been condemned by the United Nations, the African Union, and France, its former colonial power, which had close ties to the Bongo family. That has been the news. But before I go, a recap of the major stories. From the news warhead, bandits kill 7 worshippers in Kaduna State, Marks. Senator Babangida Hussaini inaugurates 1 billion naira erosion and flood control project in Taura. Niger Republic citizens group brace for nationwide protest to demand French troops leave. That has been the news. On behalf of the news department, our editor Muhammad Suleiman Yobi, our content announcer Baba Babariki, I am Salamatu Nud Aliman saying good night.